Yeah, let's watch it. We deserve it. It's Monday. Let's have a good laugh. Bad news for Bitcoin. I feel like this is how a lot of people are feeling right now, even Bitcoiners, after Saylor's interviews. Let's watch this. Very, very bad news for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Plan accordingly.
And Chuqiang, can you give me the worst scenario? What kind of a systemic shock it will give to the current financial system is if Bitcoin is widely used in China or the rest of the world?
Well, if Bitcoin will become the ultimate type of a form of the currency been adopted by human society, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen as the worst scenario or the must scenario. We're all going to die. This is not a joke.
Why do you say that?
Bitcoin has a very, very strict limited number, the total number. So which means this is a deflation currency, which means the currency would not grow its amount alongside with the growth of human economic development. That means we're going to see our society going on the death spiral of deflation, and the business sector will withdraw, and we're going to see people's job are going to be wither away, and then whole society is going to shrink and then self-explode. That's what happened in the end of the Ming Dynasty when they're short of the silver, and also happened in the Inca Empire when they're short of the gold. So this is not a good idea if we're going to have this kind of a cryptocurrency to run the real human society.
Pretty serious stuff. We're all going to die if humans adopt Bitcoin as their currency because it has a fixed supply. The crazy thing is the majority of people believe that that's the case because Bitcoin has a fixed supply, that somehow it's bad. He talked about the Ming Dynasty there and silver and gold and how it happened with that when there was a shortage of silver and gold. Well, yes, that's right. That would be very concerning if we had a fixed amount of silver and you could not. But here's the thing, two things. Number one, silver and gold are not divisible. You cannot go to a coffee shop with a gold coin that's worth $2,000 and buy a coffee with that. It's not divisible at all. But the second part there is if you do have, let's say you had a silver or gold standard and you had a way to audit and verify that silver was in the vault, then you could just issue currency. That's what we had before 1971, something similar to that. Or it was actually 1933 where it was a true gold standard. But that's what we had, and it was fine because you had the scarce asset there that you could measure things on. You could exchange that for notes, and that's what you would go exchange with people. You wouldn't be shaving coins. But with Bitcoin, you don't need that because it's highly divisible. So even the fact that Bitcoin has 21 million Bitcoin, it's a very arbitrary number in itself. It could have been 21 billion. It could have been 21 Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. That's just a unit of measurement for it. And so then let's say the government somehow bought 1 million coins or 2 million coins, locked them up, burned them. And now we only had 15 million Bitcoin. Perfect. It's more scarce than it was. There's less Bitcoin to go around. So what are we going to do? We're just going to keep moving the decimal points. That's what, 6 months ago, I said this on the show. Bitcoin right now is like when the first European settlers came over from that side of the pond over here, and they just were exploring. There was nobody else there. There was no demand for it. There was a ton of supply, and they could buy like a township of land for $1. But then as more and more people kept coming over, the demand increased, the supply kept going down, and it was worth more. And so they started subdividing these townships into sections, and then into half sections, and then into quarter sections, and then into acres, and then into lots. And then who knows? And then we're going to start going upwards. So Bitcoin is much more easily divisible than land is, but it's the same kind of idea there. You need scarcity. You need to have a fixed asset. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter if you can't create more Bitcoin or if there's not an inflating supply. It's going to be the measuring stick. it's going to reprice the entire world because there's only so much of that and there's an abundance of everything else. So it's just going to reprice everything.